Yeah, that's right. I know better than you. Tears of the Kingdom, horrible. And I'm the guy on the internet who's making the video talking about the thing you like. And of course, you should always listen to my opinion, even when I disagree with you. Really? Is that true? Should you trust my opinion? Should you trust the other reviews? Well, honestly, it's not that simple. And I'm going to tell you why. So let's check it out. Yeah, that's right, Tears of the Kingdom sucks. It's the most horrible game ever. All these reviews are wrong. Pokemon Violet is a much better open world game, and I can't even I can't even. Oh, this is not my Tears of the Kingdom review. It's more about talking about the reviews and the reviewers and, kind of the feelings about what's been going on. So, to start off with, yes, this is not my review. I do not get pre-release copies, and you know what? I have to take time to play. And with open world games, and I'm going to restate it, it takes me a long time to play. So it'll be a while before I actually review it. But I've seen quite a few things when it comes to reviews, and whether that they should be believed or not. I'm going to give you a great example. Super Mario Brothers movie. The critics despised it, whereas the audience loved it. So let's look at, should you trust reviews? Who should you listen to? And just overall, what's the point of them? So let's use Tears of the Kingdom as our baseline because it is so positively reviewed. And I like to talk about the positive things and have a little fun with it because that was silly. Pokemon Violet better than Tears of the Kingdom? I barely played Tears of the Kingdom, and it's already so much better than Pokemon Violet. But that's my opinion. Now, I used to be a teacher. I was a teacher for about 15 years, and I have reviewed a lot of things. And that pause there is just the quick memory of my reviewing. Grades are reviews. And yes, another quick pause because I have to talk about grades. I haven't had to talk about grades in a long time, but let's look at some basics of teaching. I give you, my student, an assignment. Write a 5-page paper on why Tears of the Kingdom is the best video game ever. And you spend 2 weeks doing it. You love it. This is your topic. You love Tears of the Kingdom. You hand it in to me. You're proud of your work. It takes me a week to grade. You get it back. It's a solid D-. It's more close to an F+. And you're like, what the mother trucking lover? What is going on? And there's one thing missing. You have no idea what I was graded upon. And as a teacher, when I created these assignments, and getting all this trauma back in here, we're talking about teaching, I would have to give a rubric, and the rubric would have to be very specific about what I was looking for in the assignments I was given. That would tell you if I was being fair or not. So, did you have 5 pages? Was it on Tears of the Kingdom? Do you have, 3 comparisons? Do you have 10 sources? Do you have all these things? Did you spell it right? Which would be graphical glitches. But did you follow through with the rubric? And that's something that you don't really see in reviews. And so, when looking at reviews, first off, we gotta ask ourselves, who's reviewing? So who am I? I'm not really reviewing, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm Muggy Sir Wilbur. I talk about silly things and things that I like. Why am I doing this? Well, I want to inform people. That's why I'm doing this right now. I want to inform what you should look like in reading a review. Be pretty. I completely said that wrong, but hey, we all make mistakes. Give me your review of this video in the comments below. Or check out my other videos and tell me how you feel about them. But seriously, what should you be looking for? And frankly, what is the reviewer basing it on? Like, what's their standard? And a lot of these reviewers don't have a very good standard, which really stands out. And why are they reviewing it? Like, or did I say that one already? I think I said that one already. See, I had a script, and I'm just shooting off the cuff now because as you can see, I'm very excited about this. So, who are they? Why are they doing it? What's their standards? Is it valid? Honestly, is it valid? My just statement right there, every time I keep saying Tears of the Kingdom sucks. Is that actually a valid statement? Like, what's the purpose behind it? I'm, trying to make, it's valid in the point I'm trying to make, but it's not valid as a point of Tears of the Kingdom. So far, Tears of the Kingdom does not suck, but hey, I'm going to keep saying Tears of the Kingdom sucks. So let's look at the actual reviews of Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm going to use Metacritic, because that is the most popular. And honestly, it's kind of easy. And there's some issues with Metacritic. There are some issues with Metacritic that I'm going to go over. So let's check it out. All right. So I apologize for the video quality here. I've moved on to the desktop, which is just a 1080p webcam, and it doesn't compare to 4K. and of course, I'm using a mic that's a good distance from, a good proper distance from where I'm sitting and speaking. But here we are at Metacritic, and as you can see, the Meta score as of filming, this is May 12th at 11:56 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have 87 critic reviews, 86 being positive and 1 being mixed, and user reviews can't go up until tomorrow because they would expect you to play the game and get out of here. So as you can see, we have quite a few hundreds here, but I'm going to go over a few that I want to talk about. But first problem with Metacritic here is, so they're taking all of these standards, numerical judgments, symbolic judgments, and turn it into 100%. And that doesn't always work, because a 4 out of 5, that one missing point, when you turn it into 8 out of 10, well, maybe it might be an 8.5. You turn it into an 80%. Well, what took off those 20 points? Could it be a little bit more nuanced than that? So that's my first problem with it. And of course, Metacritic, and I'm going to show you this, all of them kind of really, it just gives this bland synopsis. It's just a paragraph, and you gotta ask yourself, well, does this paragraph tell me what's going on? So Post Arcade here. I'm sorely tempted to review the 20th installment of Nintendo Company's Ltd's 35 Legend of Zelda franchise by simply giving it a perfect score and issuing a few words and just go play absolute jam of the game to give away more Rob's potential players of joy. So, cool. They liked it. But let's look at something more important. So, and there's one that I really want to talk about, because I chose two that were pretty good, and then actually no, I have the pretty good up already. So where is it? Because when I was going through this Nintendo Life, and Nintendo Life, it's possible to talk about everything that makes Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom so incredible. Making many of those discoveries yourselves is part of the magic. So we have 100 here. Now if I go to Nintendo Life, down here it's 9 out of 5 by the user rating. So you gotta look at, well, what are they looking at? Where is the 10? Already that tells you something different. And scrolling down, there's the 10 out of the 10. But it's kind of misleading, because they want you to scroll down, but all these opinions, 9 out of 5, 9.5. So yes, Metacritic's right, but the way this system's set up for Nintendo Life, hey, it looks a little different. And it also goes back to my first question. Who's making this review? It's Nintendo Life. Are they going to be super critical of Nintendo? I'm going to think probably not, because they're going to want access to Nintendo. Now, that's something to think about. Alana Hughes, first time reading all these that I've noticed, and I've done this video like 3 times for various reasons, and I randomly came to this one, and this is the first time I see a woman, and I'm like you so much more now, Nintendo Life. Good job. But looking at this review, like, what's it based on? And looking at hers, from the side quests,
to the NPCs right down to the world stuff. Tears of the Kingdom's Hyrule, despite being the same as Breath of the Wild, feels much more lived in. Side quests are a lot more interesting. So she really loves it. She really loves it. But I'm looking for a lot of things in a review. Like, there should be a criticism. If you're trying to prove a point, you got to actually acknowledge what might be true about the counterpoint. And we're going to get to some counterpoints a little bit later. In some ways, Hyrule is easier to get around than before, but those small changes that were hinted at above mean that there are often new problems to circumnavigate. Honestly, this is very well written. I'm liking this review. We died a lot, especially at the beginning of the game, but we love that we had to think about. There you go. That's some useful information, something to style. This is a very solid review. All right, looking at Screen Rant. Let's see what Screen Rant had. And yes, sometimes I watch their videos, but I'm always never going to their site because of all the ads. This is one of the times where just all the ads. And so, scroll down. Skip all the ads. So they're rating 5 out of 5 masterpiece. And their conclusion, it's time to move on from Tears of the Kingdom. Hyrule has now spanned 2 games. It hasn't overstayed its welcome. The memories of this game. Except, alright, so review and final scores. Again, a lot of these reviews, when written down, are a lot of fluff. And where does Zelda go from here? So, yeah, talking more about storyline versus gameplay. This is more of a criticism of the Switch. Alright. I know, it's hard to rip apart positive reviews. And so, NME on Metacritic, I started going down, and this gave it an 80%. And this is going to show, 80% right here. So this is, 20% off, and 4 out of 5 is 20% off. And I appreciate they put this right in front. 20 points, 20 separate points versus one big point is very different when you're looking at grades. So looking at theirs, it's the hope that kills you, a trite epithet all too familiar to sports fans, and that's strangely appropriate because it's the hope for another industry-shaking, genre-defined franchise transforming masterpiece that may kill the sequel of Breath of the Wild, which commits the glorious sin of merely being a very good game. Wow, that is a lot of fluff adjectives there. On one level, that's fantastic. New Breath of the Wild has yet to be bested by any Switch title in the 6 years since it launched. An excuse to do it all over again is not sniffed at. And on this part, you gotta remember, Breath of the Wild was not a Switch game. It was a Wii U game. It's a Wii U port. Yes, it runs great on the Switch, but honestly, would they be points be taken off if Breath of the Wild hadn't come first and Tears of the Kingdom was actually the Zelda game for Breath? I'm digressing. If Tears of the Kingdom was just the Switch game, would there be so many points off, or would it be the highest? Is it actually hurt by Breath of the Wild? And those are the things I'm thinking about right now. That feeling, so what feeling? Every striking landmark or strange rock, it was an excuse to explore, knowing that even odds had the game ready to surprise you, but lessen. So this person is just upset by, what seems to be more of the same. You know what? That might be worth 1 point off, but is it worth 20% off? Did they even look at it like 20%? So let's get to the one that is the lowest by someone that no one's really ever heard of. And it's Gfinity and Josh Brown. And like I said, I've done this 3 times, and I can tell you what Josh Brown's upset with. Josh Brown is probably an older game player like me. I'm just assuming. Yeah, where the games were more linear. Around 30 to 40 hours in, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom looks to be a victim of Nintendo's obtuse marketing strategy. From hearing next to nothing about the game, getting almost too much information in the weeks leading to release. The suddenly fast-moving cloud of information was mixed too quickly into a pot already simmering with speculation, reaching to a boiling point that made people making concrete claims from vague assumptions. So they're already upset about Nintendo. Right out of the gate, Hyrule is the same as you left it. For the most part, XXM, that's fine. That's a great explanation. Let's get into the real gripe. Too much work, too little reward. Beyond the omission of a largely linear storyline progression, previous game centered around the first true open world title had instead encouraged exploration, discovery, and a sandbox approach to finding your own fun in the world. But while it's true that some dedicated social media enjoyers got a lot of mileage from the physics-based shenanigans, plenty of us were left thinking the traditional Zelda experience was being sunset in favor of the do-it-yourself gameplay approach. And so, it is okay to not like a game. It is okay to wish, what you knew before was saying that you're getting back. It's okay that you might love the open world gameplay. I personally have a problem playing with it because I have a problem with creativity. If you give me too much of it, I go all over the place, and that's why, again, I'm going to keep repeating it. My review is going to take much longer. It might not even come out. It'll most likely be a personal one, maybe a short. Other than Tears of the Kingdom sucks. So stupid. So this person is. I'm glad they're admitting that they missed the linear approach and that open world really isn't for them, and that is fine. That's fine. Not everyone needs to like the things you like. There's no reason to get a rear end hurt. I'm not monetized. I can say butt hurt. You don't have to get butt hurt. Trust me, it sucks when your butt hurts. So stupid. Being so stupid. I've done this video so many times. And it's no need to bash. I have seen some people go after this review, but this person has stated who they are. They're quite open about why they're writing this review. It's because they miss linear. Is it valid? It is very, very valid. It is a valid review that this person particularly likes linear-based games, and I get it. I'm not great with open world. I'm right now making a video about why adults don't understand Minecraft, so I get it. It misses game-changing gear, heart containers, new powers and combat techniques, rupees, even just a bottle of storm potions and bugs. Yep, that is so very understandable. Everyone has the same images, all right? And I gotta ask, with all these random sites, did they actually get review copies, or did they just get they downloaded, emulated? That's something you need to think about too. What's the source of it?
Now, after looking at those reviews, once again, Tears of the Kingdom sucks. I'm having so much fun with that. But let's go back to, the questions I asked before. Who are the people reviewing? The last reviewer, he's someone who liked linear games. And so an open world isn't that great for him. It detracted from the experience, and that's fair. That's a fair statement. That's why he's doing it. That goes to the second, why he's doing it. And there's two reasons. There's two types of whys. Like, there are people who do these things and make these statements to make money, and there's people who also do it because they like it and want to share their opinion about what's going on. That's what you typically find on the internet. And frankly, how do they rate this? And I think most reviewers on the internet, because they have that monetary issue, is, they try to draw you in to see as many ads as possible. That's why I like YouTube for right now, and get annoyed that they're adding more ads. It's why I have premium. I always suggest premium to get rid of the ads. Like, just have it up front. And so I can enjoy it. Boom, we're done. But, yeah. What do they base it on? The first one was very fluffy, positive. You didn't really know why it got a 10 out of 10. You don't know why Metacritic gave it 100 instead of just, why is Metacritic, 100? They switch it to 100 scale versus, 10 scale, and there are empirical reasons to do that. The bigger the scale, the more nuance you can be, which is a positive, and which really factors in when everyone's not using the same scale. So that's really tough. And those are the three big ones. Those really are the three big ones. I know there's a fourth I talked about, but who cares, because Tears of the Kingdom sucks. All right, so I hope you found this informative. I hope participate in discussion with me here. Leave some comments, watch some of my other videos. I put up a great one about cloud gaming that probably won't do as hot as this one, but you should check it out. And probably gonna pop up at the end here, so really do check it out. It's quite interesting. So leave a like if you want to leave a like, leave a dislike if you want to dislike. I'm hoping I got, if you watch this long, I'm hoping I got a bunch of dislikes because I keep saying Tears of the Kingdom sucks. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You made it to the end. I always appreciate that. You're an amazing person. We love you. Bye.